This time, let's talk about the rocket force of the Chinese military. In addition to the Army, Navy, and Air Force, China established the rocket force, responsible for missile development, which includes a position known as the general engineer, essentially the lead technician in charge of rocket development. Recently, a notable figure, who is considered the top authority in China's ballistic missile development, known as Xiaolong Bureau in Japanese, has been removed by the Xi Jinping administration. This incident has drawn significant attention. However, it's not an isolated event. It's believed to be part of a longer series of scandals within the military, dating back a few years. By examining the broader context, it becomes clear how these developments align. With this background in mind, let's take a closer look at the current state of the Chinese rocket force and the broader military. Why are military officials being removed one after another? And how many high-ranking officials have disappeared in recent years? By examining these questions, we may gain insight into the relationship between the military and the Xi Jinping administration. Let's start by going back to October 2022, to understand how this removal of Xiaolong Bureau fits within the larger sequence of events. First, here's an interesting reference: CACI, a research institute under the U.S. Air Force Academy, which studies Chinese military and aerospace technology, including missile development. Toward the end of 2022, CACI published an extensive 225-page report on the Chinese rocket force, which reportedly contains sensitive military information that wouldn't normally be accessible to lower or mid-ranking officers in China's military. This was a significant revelation for China, as it indicated that high-level intelligence from the upper ranks of the rocket force had been leaked to the U.S. Following this in-depth investigation, significant actions within the Chinese military soon began. By July 4, 2023, only a year after the U.S. report, Rocket Force Deputy Commander Higago suddenly died, reportedly from a stroke. However, another military figure, Zhao Shangyang, publicly claimed his death was actually a suicide. Zhao Shangyang, a high-ranking officer and the son of Zhao Zhen, a former vice-chairman of the Central Military Commission, was a credible source who would have insider knowledge, lending weight to his claim. This indicates that intelligence had indeed leaked from the rocket force, specifically information that only top officials would have access to. Consequently, high-ranking rocket force officials became the target of intense investigation by the Xi Jinping administration, potentially leading to suicides under pressure. Let's examine the current leadership of the rocket force, starting with the commander, the position at the top of this organization. Many familiar names appear here, such as Yi Huaji and Li Yichong, who are well known to those interested in the Chinese military. These two have also been removed from their positions, and because of their prominent status, their removal has even been reported in Japanese media. Moving on to the deputy commanders of the rocket force, the most senior listed is Higago, whose death was initially reported as due to a stroke but later claimed to be a suicide. The fact that a figure of his stature, the number 2 in the rocket force, was removed suggests just how serious these actions are. And he is far from the only one. Multiple officials from the rocket force have faced removal in recent times. Between 2023 and February of this year, an increasing number of senior military officials have also been removed. These figures span various branches of the military, including the Navy and Air Force, and most are connected to the rocket force or similar strategic roles. One such individual, who previously held a prominent role in the rocket force, was later transferred to a high-ranking position in the Joint Staff Department before his removal. In addition to these figures, there are officials from other branches, like the Navy's Southern Theater Command. Although they aren't part of the rocket force per se, they have significant ties to rocket development and related technology, suggesting that information has been leaking across multiple high-level sectors. In conclusion, the Xi Jinping administration is now enforcing stringent investigations on officials related to missile and rocket development, particularly within the rocket force. It's believed that this strict approach is likely a response to potential intelligence leaks to the U.S. However, other issues, like corruption within the ranks, are also coming to light as the investigations unfold. This crackdown extends beyond the rocket force and is now affecting top officials across other military branches, such as the Army and Air Force. The ongoing investigations highlight the Xi Jinping administration's heightened concern over military transparency and security, particularly regarding potential leaks to foreign nations.